Hi, welcome to the City Show. I am your host, John Simkus. We've got a busy day today, and our first guest is Casey Burdick. She is the Recreation and Natural Resource Coordinator for the City of Lebanon. Welcome back, Casey.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now, usually you're here telling us about some fun things about to happen in Lebanon, and this is no different. What's the fun thing coming up?
So we're really excited. This will be the 10th anniversary of the Lebanon Oktoberfest. So we're really excited and getting all the planning coming together for that.
And when will this take place?
So it's going to be October 13th and 14th. So it'll be the evening of the Friday the 13th and then all day on the 14th.
Now, for all 10 years, it has been a fundraiser for a particular park. Isn't that correct?
That's correct. So
and which park is that?
It's always been a fundraiser for Miller Ecological Park. The Miller Ecological Park Trust is the one who actually started the Lebanon Oktoberfest. And even though I wear the hat as the city recreation coordinator, I'm also actually very involved with that group. So I organize the event on behalf of the the Miller Ecological Park.
Yeah, there's quite a large committee running that with various people from the Miller family and also from the city on that.
Right, so it is a nice diversity, and yes, the family's still very involved, even though it's a city park. They still want to contribute and help make that park a great place to be for the long run.
What makes that park different from the other parks Lebanon has?
It's our only ecological park, so we strive to really make improvements that are things that folks can do on their own. So, we have a permeable paver parking lot there. We have multiple butterfly gardens and pollinator gardens. We have prairies. We have native woodlands. Mm-hmm. So it's just supposed to be a really good example of a low-impact, great place to be. We don't have all of the modern ball fields and traditional play equipment or anything like that. So it's really nice for people to bring their families out and just be in nature.
Now, what could we expect from the Oktoberfest?
So Oktoberfest is always a great time. It's really hard to sit still when you hear those Oompa bands playing and you smell good bratwurst cooking on the grill over there. It's a great time. So we have some great bands lined up. We have some activities for the kids and just every age.
Now, it's sponsored or presented by, is it Molson Coors?
Correct. So they were very generous, and so we've kind of altered our name a little bit to the Lebanon Oktoberfest presented by Molson Coors. Very much appreciate all of our sponsors, but particularly their generous donation.
Now, their brand of beer is quite extensive, from Coors to Miller's to Carlin to Blue Moon, I believe. So I imagine there'll be opportunities to have various brews at the Oktoberfest.
That's correct. So definitely Warsteiner, Spaten. Let's see here. I believe we also have, I can't think of it. But yes, German beers will be present.
So emphasizing the German beer.
Which is very important.
Oh, yes.
But those who don't necessarily care for the German beers will have your traditional Miller Lite. Mm-hmm. Or we'll also have some local craft breweries on site as well to try some of those as well.
Now, there are Burgermeisters. Is that the correct term?
That is correct.
Now, what is a Burgermeister and who are the Burgermeisters for this Oktoberfest?
So our Burgermeisters they come from Germania Society, which is one of the biggest German societies in Cincinnati area. And they are the king and queen of Carnival, which a lot of people don't realize that Germany actually also celebrates Carnival. You think of Rio de Janeiro. Mm-hmm. No, Germany is very big into Carnival, and they have very elaborate costumes. And so the king and queen are going to be there, and their responsibilities are to be part of the parade that we have and to do, to come out with the first beer of the festival, although it's about the parade will be at 4:00, so it won't technically be the first beer of the festival, but they will be there to be part of the fanfare.
The first official beer.
Yes.
Now, where would the parade go?
So it's a very short parade. So it just goes from Broadway down to the stage at the corner of Cherry in Mechanic. So it's just 2 blocks, but we have lots of German organizations that are going to be part of that. They'll be in their full dress and garb, carrying their banners. So it's a lot of fun to see them come in and get everybody excited about the rest of the day.
So it's in the Mulberry Plaza area.
That is correct.
The whole thing. Okay. Now, speaking of bands, I understand you have several different German bands performing.
So yes, and it's not going to be super traditional stuff. There will be some very nice traditional songs played. Of course, you can't have a festival without hearing I'm Frozen. You know, that goes on and on. But Friday night we have Snickel Fritz. They're a fantastic band out of Cleveland area. And then they come back for the first half of the day on Saturday, and then followed by a local band, the Clabberheads. And they are both so fun because they don't just play that traditional stuff. They also do a polka spin on pop classics. So, you know, Van Halen, Jump, played in polka. It's the craziest thing you've ever heard. It's so much fun, though.
Now, what are the times on Friday and Saturday?
So Friday night, we start at 6 and we go till 9 p.m. And then Saturday, the Barktoberfest actually starts the festival off. They start at 9:30, they go till 11:30, and then they pass off the festival to the Oktoberfest, and we'll go till 9 p.m. that evening as well.
Now, are there still opportunities to volunteer?
I would love to have volunteers. We have plenty of openings for folks to come out. We have a volunteer sign up on our website. Check out our Facebook page. We have the link posted right there as well. We need people all day long. Because the main fundraiser after we do have our generous sponsorships is for the sale of beer and wine. Unfortunately, we primarily need volunteers that are over 21, but we could still also use some help with folks setting up and tearing down before and after the festival, and that could be of any age.
How many vendors do you expect?
We have, I believe, 8 to 10 food vendors. 2 or 3 are only having German things, but we mixed it up a little bit this year, and we'll have a nice diversity of food products if bratwurst aren't your favorite thing.
Well, a lot of people may not know that this area of Ohio has a high German ancestry population, including Lebanon. Of course, you know, we have Oswald's Funeral Home, and Johann Oswald was born in Germany. We had Mary Haven, the children's home, and Mary Klingling was born in Germany. So, and the building which used to be the Lebanon Grand Opry was the old German Evangelical Church. So there are German roots quite a bit in our area here.
Yep, and so, you know, you can always celebrate your heritage, and even if you don't have German background, we'll still take you, and you can come in and enjoy it still.
Is there anything else we need to tell the people about Oktoberfest?
I think the last big thing is we have a dedicated kids area this year. So there's going to be inflatables, things like the Pop-A-Shot basketball, you know, the slides, things like that. There will be an armband. It'll be $5, and all the proceeds go to a local Boy Scout troop. But people will be able to go in and play all day. And so really is something for the whole family to do.
Now, is there a wood carving area too?
Yes, there will be. So this will be new this year. We have wood carvers from the Miami Valley Wood Carvers Association coming in, and they'll be doing a demonstration as well as have some of their crafts on for sale.
Now, is there a particular time for the demonstrations?
The wood carvers will be there at 1:30. And that's going to be near the intersection of Mulberry and Mechanic Street.
Okay. And where is the kids kinder section? Is that what it's called?
The kinder section is there. They're going to be down by the LCMB Bank at Broadway and Mechanic.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mulberry.
Now, do you cross Broadway, or is Broadway still open?
Broadway will remain open.
Okay. Okay. Well, Casey, thank you so very much for joining us. There's always great things happening in Lebanon when you're here.
Oh, yeah. We're so excited. It's going to be a fun day.
And you mentioned Barktoberfest. I can say it. Barktoberfest, which is sort of in the middle of Oktoberfest. And we're going to learn more about that in just a little bit. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, we mentioned in the last segment that in the middle of Oktoberfest is Barktoberfest. And here to talk about Barktoberfest is Ernie DiMolanta from the DiMolanta Design Group, one of the sponsors of Barktoberfest. Welcome, Ernie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
What is Barktoberfest?
So Barktoberfest is an event that we hold every year. That's right before Oktoberfest when they tap the keg, and it goes from 9:30 to 11:30, and it's just an opportunity for dog lovers to unite, come bring their dogs, celebrate their dogs, have their dogs involved in all the different dog events like the pageant, the parade, etc. So
when is the parade during that time period, and where does it go?
So let's see, registration starts around 9 o'clock. So I would say probably about 9:45 or so, then we start our parade, and we go around the block. So we go down towards Main Street, across towards the city building, and up Broadway Street. You know, these dogs, they have tiny little legs, so we can't take them too far. So we just take them around the block and back up Mulberry Street.
So you're located, the festival takes place on Bicentennial Park.
Yes.
Okay, so you're in Cherry and Mulberry, that area right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's also a costume contest.
Mm-hmm.
Is that part of the parade, or is that separate?
Well, usually dogs who are involved in a parade are also part of the pageant, and so they'll have their costumes on during the parade as well. But then for the pageant, then after that parade, then we take a break and we go to the pageant, and then we have 5 different categories are represented, and then and we have judges to judge all the cute costumes.
Are the categories separated by costumes or by breed of dog?
By usually costumes. It's unique. They have, like, for example, the funniest costumes to the best duo from the handler and the dog that they're showing. So sometimes the handler and the dog will get dressed up, and so we rate that as well too. So we have and also we have like the best handmade costumes. So we have different categories like that. And so it's not usually by breed. It's just by fun categories.
Now, do you have participants from all over Southwest Ohio come for this?
Yeah, we do. In fact, it's actually expanding quite a bit now that we have introduced. So the past year we introduced the Wiener Dog Race, which was a new addition to the lineup. And so right before the parade, we have a Wiener Dog Race, and where everybody brings their dachshunds, and that attracts, believe it or not, attracts people from all over who just love their dachshunds and want to get them involved in the race. I think Cincinnati had their really big Wiener Dog Race, and now we have one annual one here in Lebanon. I always joke with my staff, one of my lifelong dreams is to have one of the largest Wiener Dog races in the area. So hopefully they all come and show up, and we have a good time.
Where do they race? Yeah, on Mulberry?
Right, so right in Bicentennial Park, we set up the track. We have a whole gate and everything set for them, and bales of hay that sets the boundaries. And then those dogs just run. We have several heats in like a bracket system, and see which dog wins the ultimate trophy.
Oh, fantastic. Now, you can have a number of pet vendors there too, right?
Yeah, a lot of pet-related vendors, vendors who are maybe representing even pet insurance, to dog training, to grooming, to gifts and artworks for dogs. We have a whole good lineup, probably about close to 15 vendors this year. So it's going to be, it keeps growing steadily year after year.
Now, are the vendors there solely during Barktoberfest, or do some of them hang on once the Oktoberfest begins on Saturday?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a bleed over, but for the most part, they're there they're there right when the registration starts on 9 to 11:30. But once 11:30 comes, the Oktoberfest, they take over the rest and re-clean up all our stuff, and they're out at that point.
Now, another one of your sponsors is Barker's Barbershop for Dogs.
Yeah.
And now that is located on Mulberry Street.
Yes. Yeah, they're our presenting sponsor. They've been doing it for the past couple of years. And so they're the ones who usually supply all the trophies. And every year the trophies get bigger and bigger. I think a lot of the people enjoy spoiling their dogs who win with like large trophies or awards. So, but they're our presenting sponsor, and they're located right there on Mulberry Street. So yeah.
And I'm sure they'll be open during the festival.
Yeah, they'll have their staff there. They'll have their doors open. My staff will be there to help host it and volunteer. So.
Okay. Ernie, is there anything else we need to tell the folks about Barktoberfest?
Just to invite as many people as you can to come. Really, and everybody's welcome. So it's a free event. If, however, you want to get your dog to participate in the Pooch pageant and the Wiener Dog Race, there is a small nominal fee, and we have registrations. You'll see it. As we get closer and closer, you'll see advertisements on Facebook, etc. But if you just want to bring your dog and be a part of the parade and just enjoy the festivities, it doesn't cost you a thing.
Oh, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks so much, Ernie.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our next guest is Darren Owens, the Director of Public Works for Lebanon. Now, with a lot of festivals in the fall, we also have a lot of leaves in the fall. And
Yes,
that's
we
where
do.
your department comes in.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, your department moves the snow? Are you the snow remover?
We also remove the snow. That
Are
is
you the
correct.
street cleaners?
We're also the street cleaners.
Okay. So thank you
Sure,
for
absolutely.
all that you do.
Absolutely.
Now, the leaves are an issue in the fall.
They are. Well, they can be.
Yeah. Now, I have always heard the best thing to do with the leaves is to mulch them if you can, and because it helps fertilize your lawn.
That is correct, yes.
But for a lot of people, there's just far too many leaves, and that's where the city comes
And that's
in.
kind of where we come in. I guess the city's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So when does the leaf collection begin?
Our leaf collection this year begins right around October 16th. That'll be the first day of pickup. That'll be day one. I think we've got 6 routes. We actually designated a 7th route a couple years ago because we would always get delayed right around the Christmas parade because we would pull to go and focus on downtown. And as what we decided to do is we made a smaller little 7th route so we can just focus on downtown and it won't delay anything else.
Now, it's like 2 months season of leaf pickup.
That is correct. We start on October 16th and we usually finish about the week before Christmas.
And in each of the 6 districts, there are multiple times the leaves are picked up.
That's correct. We are scheduled to hit each zone district about 3 times. We start on August 16th. We go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That 3rd day, we can possibly go into the next scheduled pickup day. But if we get there early, just so everybody knows that if we get there early, we will be back on that day 1 of pickup for your schedule.
So if it's 3 days, right?
Yes.
So if you go by my house on day 1 and I put my leaves out on day 2, will you come back in that period?
Sometimes they can. It depends on how busy they are.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to have your leaves out on that day 1.
Yeah.
Because if you put them out on day 2, we may have already passed your home and we're on heading out to the next thing. So get them out there on that day 1.
Now, are there certain suggestions about where you put the leaves on the street?
Pretty much, it's pretty much the same everywhere. So if you're on a curb and gutter street, you put it out where you got the gutter plate. You just shift them a little bit outside that gutter plate. So if it rains, the water won't rush the leaves down. It'll just go underneath and go that way. If you live on a street that does not have curb and gutter, you just have asphalt and then like a ditch, just try to put them right there as close to as the berm you can. Still put them right there on the edge of the pavement.
And is there a problem sometimes with things in the leaves that you don't know about?
There are sometimes because the guys show up. It's basically our equipment is basically just a big vac truck. It's just got a big tube that they suck things up in. But when it gets up in there, if there's tree limbs, if there's branches, if there's anything in there other than the leaves, it can damage things. It can also lock everything up to where then that vac truck will be pulled off the routes take them back to the shop, and sometimes it can take a day or 2 days to get that loaded up. If we're busy, that will delay pickup. So basically, keep it straight leaves.
Now, many streets in town do allow on-street parking.
That is correct.
Is that an issue?
It can be only if when you park, when you get home and there's leaves there, you park on top of them, and then we come the next morning or that afternoon to pick them up. No, of course, we can't pick them up. And it can cause some problems where there are people that come home and you need to set the leaves out, but you can't because cars are there. And then there's sometimes that people like to put their leaves out early, like sometimes a week, 2 weeks before pickup day. And then people come home to try to park and they can't park because the leaves are there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why it's always focus on that first day, have them all out by that first day. We'll come and get them out of the way.
Now, if you put your leaves out and then it rains and the leaves get smaller and wet, does that make it harder?
It just makes it a little bit longer and wetter.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else people should know about the leaf pickup?
No, pretty much starts on October 16th. We got 6 zones. We focus on the downtown area right around the week before the carriage parade to get it cleaned up. Pretty much it's pretty simple.
And if people want to know when their particular neighborhood's going to be have a pickup, where can they go?
They can go to our webpage. It's on our webpage. They'll have the designated routes kind of there, or they can just give me a call at my office.
Okay. Sounds good.
Everything's good.
Well, thank you, Darren, and thank
Will do.
you for what the Department of Works does for the city of Lebanon.
Will do. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, folks, before we leave, I want to tell you, last time we had a field trip to Fort Ancient. And just last week on September 19th, at the UNESCO meeting, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization met in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and during their 25th meeting, and Fort Ancient became part of a World Heritage Site, along with 7 other earthworks from the Hopewell people in Ohio. It is the first World Heritage Site in Ohio. It is one of the few compared to other countries in the United States. It's now up there with the pyramids of Egypt, with Stonehenge, with in England, with the Grand Canyon, and even the Statue of Liberty. So congratulations to Fort Ancient. Congratulations to the state of Ohio. And take care, and we'll see you around town.